Hello. I wonder if you can even hear me. Oh yeah, my name. My name is Kokona Noka or Noka Kokona. Technically, Kokona is my first name and or your personal name or whatever, and then Noka as my family name. But you can also call me Coco or Nono or really anything. I don't really care. And today for my debut stream, we'll be playing Plastic Duck Simulator. Here's my first duck. Look deep into his eyes. Deep into his eyes. Beautiful little man. And so how this game works is, as the filter fills up in the top right, another duck will spawn. And we just chill with them, and we talk with me. And maybe have a good time, probably have a terrible time, so... Let's see. We're gonna try to come up with names for these, but I don't know what to do for the very plain yellow little man. What should I name you? I also forget how to get to the menu, because that would be able to name them if I can get to the menu. There it goes. So you can go in here and then see which duck you have and name them, but I don't know what his name is yet, so... I just exited out. I'm so stupid. Anyway, that is an example of I am not very tech oriented and I'm panic and then I'll just turn everything off and then give up briefly, but then sometimes I come back and then sometimes I don't. So if I continue streaming, this will surely happen again, but hopefully not too often. We'll just have to see though, I guess. Anyway, so here's my first duck. What shall we call him? For some reason my brain is saying Frederick and that doesn't seem... That's weird, but we're gonna go with that. Frederick? Sure. Frederick! My first little duck. We're gonna thoroughly examine each one. This is obviously the most basic of little plastic toys. You have an idea of how much shine and stuff they put on them. Just a typical rubber ducky. Anyway, at the very beginning it's very boring because there's only ever like a few ducks, but eventually tons of ducks appear. And I don't even know if I want to start talking about myself until the next duck comes. But basically, here I am. I have so many hobbies and I never complete anything. So it's just another hobby to maybe try. But who knows if I'm gonna like it or keep it or anything. Regardless, I'm cute. I think I'm very cute. My little ears. Because something you should know about me is I'm very cheap, so I won't pay for horn, like, assets or whatever. But I really want horns. Every character is better with horns. That's the easiest way to get me to watch or read something is to say, Coco, there are horns in this manga, there are horns in this anime, and I will be like, I am there. Let's go. We'll get to that later about maybe some examples, of course, of this stream, but I think we're gonna have another duck. They come from above. And they just drop in there. There he goes! Okay. So here's our next duck. We'll tab over to him. He looks the same but dirty. He's seen some wear and tear, perhaps. He's well loved or has just been left outside. So, what's like the opposite of Frederick? Dirty Frederick. I don't want to call him Stank Man. He doesn't stinky. We'll come back to him. Anyway, so here's the pool though. Oh, he emits stench. Look at that. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little relatable looking. That's probably gross. Oh no, he's becoming clean now. He's a real duck. He was hidden under there. Now we can really for sure look deep into his eyes. Beautiful. He's a mallard, but he was stinky, so I guess he will be stinky. Collections. Stank Man. Go. Stank Man. Uh, anyway, I had a bunch of talking points to talk about me, but I'm not actually very interesting. And I don't have a lot of personal anecdotes or stories because I've been unemployed for a long time because I'm just cuckoo and my lizard brain doesn't always work. So that's why gaming is probably good potential career path for me or something, but probably not. But regardless, I don't have a lot of personal anecdotes because I don't leave the house very often, even less since 2020, which is perfectly normal, but probably a little bit unhealthy, but that's okay. Frederick believes in me, so it's okay. As long as someone believes in you, then it doesn't matter. In that case, the person who really believes in me is I am married, I do have a husband. I'm not bragging or anything, but he's very much awesome. He's very much better than me. And if you happen to catch the song at the beginning, that was one of his creations. He's actually on Twitch called Mr. Sanpo-san. He also has a YouTube channel with all of his music that he's been working on. And I'm infinitely more proud of him than I am of myself for attempting to try another hobby. And we're gonna get another duck drop. There he goes. Oh, it's a yellow submarine duck from the Beatles, which my husband really hates, but my mother really loves. And he is sunk. He is sunked. Okay, because he is Beatles themed, he gets the best Beatles name, which is Ringo. I'm gonna feel really stupid if this is like not Beatles related and I'm just dumb. Oh, he does a cool little flip. Look at that. Yeah, I know a lot of Beatles music. I don't like it anymore, per se, but like I grew up with that one album because my mom really liked the Beatles. So a little bit of nostalgia when I hear something, but mostly it's just kind of like, this is okay, but I understand what was influential at the time. My husband hates them so much. So much. But we have different music taste in general, so there he goes. Oh, the camera. We didn't look deep into his eyes, but he stank before we could do that. You can look at on Frederick again. That's just a fine duck right there. Beautiful man. And Stank Man is also very pretty. His little propeller's going, look at him go! Eventually some of them go down the slide, and I feel like I've never caught one going down the slide, but I know that they do it because they're at the bottom. There he is. Oh no, he sank again. Well, he'll be back. Balls in pool, I got an achievement, and I don't even know what that means. He's jetting along to the bottom. When I was a kid, I really loved diving for pool toys, even though I had asthma and very much was terrible at it and like could not hold my breath for more than like 10 seconds, so I felt like I was dying anytime I did it. But I really loved to swim and I really loved diving for toys, and now I hate swimming and I hate getting wet, so your life can often turn completely 180. And then eventually go back to 360 and you'll be right back to loving swimming again in a few years. Who knows? It's another duck time. Oh lord, he coming. That would be some sort of wooden duck. We look deep into his eyes. Yeah, I'd say that's wood. Therefore, his name will be Clay. Because clay is made of wood, obviously. His little whirly head. Wonder what kind of wood this is. I don't know really anything about wood. I think cedar smells nice. Let me see. I don't know what to really tell you about myself other than I think one of the most personal easiest ways to describe myself is in college. Instead of going to graduate school or something, I ended up with 3 minors. I had 1 major and 3 minors by the end, and 2 of them, oh, there he goes down the slide. See, 1 I missed. There goes Ringo. Anyway, because I'm so very bad at committing to things. Ended up with several different minors. 3 of them. Too much. But I do love school. I love learning. If I wasn't so scared and covered in debt, maybe I would go back one day. Who knows? Other than that, I have a cat, I have a dog. I like them. I'll get into some likes and dislikes later, maybe. But most of my time is just spent flitting between a handful of hobbies that I'll talk about. So I'm hoping to maybe bring streaming into the fold of regular activities to do. The cat rolls, the dog drools. That's not true. They both drool, and I drool the most because when I sleep, I drool so much. It's embarrassing, and I really only started that after I had my tonsils removed when I was like in kindergarten, and ever since it's an absolutely disgusting amount of spit that comes out of my mouth, and I hate it so much, and people make fun of me for it. So what can you do though? I can't just suck it back in, you know. A little bit of time for the next duck, so I'll talk about in terms of if I do start streaming the sort of content you might expect. Very sporadic. I'm terrible at keeping schedules, but at the same time I like keeping schedules, so I would try to eventually maybe do a certain time every week or twice a week. Maybe every day if I like it, who knows. I have nothing but time being unemployed and a loser, so. But this next duck will also believe in me. Oh, this is a little propeller hat man. I don't trust him. You should because of the hat, but I don't trust him. He looks like he's gonna turn around and kill me. This is like a disguise and hitman or something. His noise is this. And his name will be Twinkie. I don't know why, but I do like Twinkie, so that's okay. I don't like him though. And it's very nasty that you said that this water is all my sleep drool and not actual water. That is incredibly mean. That's me blasting off to get away from you in that stinky, stinky comment. Oh no, he's on the grass! Duck down! Duck down! What happens when there's a duck down? Does he eventually roll back in? I have failed him somehow. Oh, here he goes again. He's taken off. I've watched several streamers play this, and I've never seen one with this one, so I didn't even know that this was possible. He's gonna just exit the level. He's exited the level! What in the world? As you can see, this is my weird, like, sociopath house that's just a pool and floating in the middle of the ocean. And, like, what is this? Where is he going? Where is he going? Did it glitch? There's nothing else out here. There's nowhere for him to go. I'm sorry I have to abandon him. He's stressing me out. Stank man, you would never fail me. You'll stay perfectly still this whole time. He hasn't even ventured into the other pool yet, much like myself. The hunting dogs are not gonna come and get him. I know that this is like the hunting dog type of mallard dog duck thing. And that makes me sad. I know people eat ducks as well. I've never tried it. I kind of want to though. Sharks are not gonna get him. There is a shark duck though. I had him on my last playthrough. I hope sharks don't get him. Do you think sharks even eat duck? Probably. If they're opportunistic like that, maybe? But no, sharks, do they even come to the surface like that? Am I stupid? Am I missing something vital that I forgot? Typical. Typical, typical. There he went down. That's how they get back up here. So they go through that little pool slide. That's a reverse pool slide. Ringo, my man, showing off that game dynamic. And we're gonna get another duck. Anytime now. Duck drop. I wish I could see where they're dropping from. This whole time I've tried to see, and I think they just float from nothingness. Anyway, new duck. This little plaid man. Look deep into his eyes. Focused. Flourished in his own lane. No idea what to call this one either. My gut's going Gwyneth. Oh, they're next to each other. I don't think that's how you spell Gwyneth. I don't care. Gwyneth. That's Gwyneth me. Oh yeah, so in terms of content, random sporadic times. Random sporadic games probably. But one thing about me as a gamer is I've never actually done a first-person shooter, and I would like to eventually maybe try one day, but that's also very scary. So mostly I play like strategy games, Tetris, other strategy games, puzzle games, story-based games, stuff where you can just read and click, because I can read and I can click, but I can't always time things, so you'll probably never see me like what are those called? Scrollers, things like that. Anything with very base timing. Platformers. I can't do platformers very well. But I used to think I couldn't game at all, because my gaming experience is that I started very late in life, like college, before I really started gaming, and even then I didn't have a lot of time, so it wasn't until like maybe even later, maybe even really 2020, 2019, 2020, I started gaming and branching out and trying to try different types of games. Because before that, I mostly played things on a DS. And so yeah, chill games. I really like farming sims, if I didn't already say that. I'm messing with my headphones, so my model's probably looking all over the place. I'm a pretty chill person. I like to try to make some jokes, but I don't know if I'm funny. And I love watching horror movies and sometimes horror streams, but I don't know if I could ever play horror games, because I'm a big baby. We will watch scary movies, and then I will be a big baby about it the night of and have nightmares and see things in the shadows and scream and wake my husband up because I swear I hear something at the window. I'm one of those kind of people, but I do love horror stuff anyway. Yeah, but I'm definitely not going to ever probably do singing. I hate my voice, and I hate my singing voice even more. You probably won't do that, or chatting, because honestly, I don't have opinions. So maybe the next time I have a lot of opinions, like when I finish a book or a show or something, and I'm gonna info dump about it, then maybe. But in general, no, I have nothing to chat with you about. I'm sorry. Very boring. Next duck. Oh, army, boo. I mean, yeah, we support them, yay. That's a camo. Camo man. So that would be their hunting or army, right? So what's the opposite of that? You can be, once I find you. See all these ducks I can collect? Those have some of the ones that I got last round. Did I look past him? Am I stupid? There he is. He was so camouflaged I couldn't even see him. This is civilian. Civvy. Civvy! Because every civvy is a hunter and an army person, obviously. Actually, I'm going for the opposites, but it hasn't worked out that way. My initial goal was to try to guess what the most popular name would be to pick, and then to go the opposite. And I proceeded to not do that, so, you know. I never follow my own plans. So, in terms of hobbies that I do, in addition to gaming, most of my life have been a bookworm, but then I'll go through these periods of time where I won't read anything. But I've gotten back into reading again recently. But unfortunately, I'm one of those, like, I don't know, pretentious mofos who's read a lot of the classics and stuff. But I don't really care what you read. I just think reading's good. But I'm one of those people that'll be like, oh, if you've read 5 of these, then you're well read. And I'll have read like 20 out of 50 or something. And most of the classics I haven't touched, I will probably never touch. Like, I have no desire to ever read Moby Dick, and I don't think that I ever will. But you never know. Maybe if I'm, like, incredibly that level of bored. But even then, I think I'd probably fall asleep. So I read, and I game, And my husband's really into opening Pokemon cards. I'm into like categorizing them, putting them into different areas, whatever. We have like 6 binders. I love putting them in, like reorganizing and then reorganizing them again, and then reorganizing them again, and then finding another way to reorganize them, and torture myself with how to put them in certain orders and stuff. But it's very fun. I used to write a lot. It's a goal to get back into that. I wrote like fan fiction and RP'd and stuff. It was something I wanted to do for a while, and then I just didn't do that, and I want to do it again. But my main hobby is doing crafts. So I'll basically find a craft and I'll do it for 6 months, and then I'll never touch it again for another like few years. So I've cycled through that in turn with cross stitch, latch hook. My latest stint has been in crochet. I have a whole box of unfinished crochet projects, and also latch hook. But that's like, it's a craft, but it's way easier than the other ones. I'm pretty good at crochet at this point, but I'm terrible at felt details, and so I never finish anything. So at least with cross stitching and friendship bracelets, I can finish them. And I just can't with crochet. I just hate finishing it, and then all the pieces look really good, and then when I sew it together, it's stinky. And I don't want to look at it after it's done. And this is our new ducky. I went right past it. Okay, so these are clearly daisies. So we will look deep into their eyes. Deep into the eye. Because that is a daisy, we are going to name it Rose. Because why not? Beautiful. So when I'm not doing those handful of things, I tend to... I watched a lot of anime for a good chunk of my life after college, and then 2020 happened and I stopped watching anything. And now I've started watching things again. But overall, I've just watched a lot of anime and read a lot of manga. Mostly shonen, but I tried to... For a while, I was like, I need to get more variety. So I was just going through all the genres and getting like 1 or 2 best ones out of there. When I do write things, I basically am into making a Muppet adaptation with whatever my hyperfixation is at the moment. And for a long time that was Bleach. So Bleach is very close to a special mention in my heart as being one of the top ones. Especially all my squad 12's boys, girls, and thems. Right now, the thing that I write fiction about in my brain and do adaptations of everything I see is the Blue Line group from Fire Emblem Three Houses. That's not important, or we'll get back to that. Anyway, the other honorable mention in terms of shonen is Promised Neverland, and also Gintama. We've been rewatching Gintama at night, and it's so good. It's so stupid, and then it's so really good, and then it's so very, very stupid. And there's nothing like it. There's literally nothing like it. In terms of, like, some of my favorites that, like, aren't super popular are, and will also give you an insight into, like, my humor, would be Hozuki no Rei Tetsu, which is called Hozuki's cool-headedness in English, which has to be, like, the hardest word, one of the weirdest things to say, like, cool-headedness. Like, I'm not really sure what, like, that's probably the legit way to translate that, but it's not very cool. Like, I don't think I'd see that and be like, oh, I really want to watch something about cool-headedness, man. Anyway, he has horns and he's great. The main character's name is Hozuki. He is, he basically runs hell. Enma is in, like, classic, like, Buddhism and stuff or something, is generally depicted as the king of hell. But in this, they're like, what if Hozuki was actually running it? And it's beautiful. It's great. Additionally, similarly but completely different story, similar humor, Uramichi Onisan. In English, they just tack on life lessons with Uramichi Onisan. It's dark. It's sad. It's not sad. It's just dark. but it's also very like light at the same time. And those are two things that very much reflect like what I look for in terms of humor in stories. And they're both episodic, and most things are like, oh, you gotta have a plot, you gotta have these arcs, and I'm just like, nah. What if we just did random things? We got a new duck, and I can't tell what material this is. And I can't even see into the little eyes. The screen brightness is not okay. Like, I can't tell if this is fur? Is it stone? No, if it was stone, it would drop. We will name him Enigma. I don't know what he is. Oh, there, you can see him. He's like mossy. So, Marimo. Mosshead. Zoom. You can't even tell that he's green. So, yeah. Gotta get a sip of water. Oh, I just heard my dog. What did he hear or see? Pool's all lit up. That's nice. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at all those ducks out there. I don't know how to see them. E? Point of interest? Look at all those ducks out there in the ocean. What the hell? Do you see all that back there past Stank Man? I don't know how to see them. I don't understand controls on games. Woo! Rinko's always going places. He is never sitting still. Everyone else is just chilling. He's just like on the go. And then my friend that I already forgot what I named him that flew away and never came back. R.I.P. R.I.P. my friend. Anyway, in terms of games I usually play, recently I've gotten into Mahjong, so I've been playing a lot of Mahjong Soul. It's one of those games that has a really high level of like, you have to adjust and understand the rules, but once you do, you have fun. But then it's like Splatoon and you lose like 50 times in a row and you're like, why am I still playing this? This is so dumb. But overall, I've really enjoyed it. Ringo, stop getting in the corner. And recently, I also played a game called Sunhaven, which is like a Stardew kind of thing, but like a Stardew, I don't want to say rip-off, but a little bit of a rip-off. But with fantasy elements, and it was really good. And other than that, the past year, the thing I've probably played the most is Splatoon. I've played a lot of Splatoon. Am I good at Splatoon? Absolutely not. I have gotten a lot better, but still pretty dismal sometimes, which hurts me. I want to be better, and I'm not. But when I originally played it, I was like, there's no way you can do this. And then I totally turned around and did it. So beautiful. You too can learn how to game. You can train your brain how to do things like that. I was like, there's no way my brain can do this. And then it did. And there you go. Zoom. Get it, Rose. Just gonna duck drop. There's a duck dropping. I don't understand the timing because it fills up and then it doesn't come out. Okay, there he goes. Ooh. That's clearly a panda. That's clearly a panda. What are you doing in the duck game, sir? We look deep into his eyes. I can trust this one. Even though you can't see his eyes, he's very trustworthy. Shit, that is clearly a panda. I probably should have named him Polar Bear, but oh well. See all his little details? He's got a little black dot on his butt. His little tail. That's cute. In terms of number of hours of games I've played, Tetris. I've played so many Tetris or Tetris sort of like games. Like there's a game called Luminous that is sort of Tetris adjacent, and I have like so many freaking hours on that thing. An unbelievable amount of time for just putting some squares into rows and then watching them go away. But it's one of the only things I can beat my husband at is Tetris type games, because he's been gaming since he was like 3 years old. So of course I can't stand on that level, but on Tetris I can, for some reason. I've played a lot of Animal Crossing. I'm gonna say about 1,000 hours, I'm not even kidding, over like 3 or 4 islands. Too much. I played so much of the Happy Home Designer. I had like literally wrote out every single villager and was trying to get every single one, and I did like 400 or something houses. Maybe not 400. It was over 100. I got an achievement, I remember. Because it was like, oh my gosh, you did over 100. And it was like, yeah, wow. You have so much time. Jeez. Pokemon games collectively. I've played a lot of Pokemon games. Not the most recent one. I played it, but I didn't play a lot of it because I don't really like open world stuff. And it was way too open for me. And it was like not visually interesting enough for me, and the story like wasn't there, and I didn't like how you couldn't go in the buildings, or it was like all facades and stuff. But I did get to have a Houndoom on my team for the first time in like forever, and I love Houndoom. He's one of my favorites. This duck dropped and I didn't even notice. I'm getting too distracted. Okay, this is clearly Tron. But I'm not going to name him Tron, but this is... Oh, he's like an actual mouse. Oh, this is the gamer mouse. Oh, he even has like the little texture. Ah! Okay, yeah, so this is Mouse. Where'd he go? There. Oh, he's special. That's Mouse. We're about to have a new duck, and I somehow missed a duck. Frederick, Stankman, Ringo, Clay, Gwyneth, Civvy, Rose, Marimo, Panda, and Mouse. It's pretty good. Additionally, probably the most game that I've spent the most amount of time on is Fire Emblem. Collectively, I've played since Awakening. I've played all the games since Awakening. And Fire Emblem Three Houses scratched a weird part of my brain, and it's just never let me go ever since 2019. That's just all I think about. A third of my day is just spent thinking about Fire Emblem. And I've replayed every single route, including the hidden route. I've replayed Blue Lion several times. And then I really enjoyed the spin-off, which was a Warriors game called Three Hopes. And I think another duck dropped. No? Or it's about to. Anyway, that was another example of, within the first 10 minutes, I was like, I can't play this. There's too many buttons. There's too much stuff going on the screen. And I was like crying and upset about it. And then it was like, you just got to keep trying. And then you get over it and you train your brain. And you can do it again. And by the end, I did all 3 routes on that as well. And tons of hours, and I got like, I went back and I think I was on easy baby mode, but I still got like S ranked on everything because I went back and did the replay thing because I love everyone so much, so I just have to keep doing it and doing it over and over again. That's it. That's clearly a rock. That's clearly a rock, so he's gonna be air. My friend Air, who we all need. We don't really need rocks, I guess. If I ever did a chatting stream, I'd probably just do one that was completely about the lore in Fire Emblem, because people don't read all the little books and talk to every NPC, and there's a lot of lore. It's just really hidden, or it's like they're not necessarily in a logical place or a logical order for you to be able to put things together. So much time in those games, though. Additionally, that's one of my favorite games, in addition to just playing it all the time. But other favorite games are probably Ace Attorney. I really like the Athena Sykes game the most, but I really like all of them, and I'm super excited that Apollo's finally getting ported. I only played a little bit of like the special Ace Attorney detective guy, the one with Herlock Sholmes, but I want to get back to it. It just didn't lure me the same way the other ones did. And a game that's a special place in my heart is definitely Hades, because it was the game that made me believe that I could game, because they have the easy baby mode where every time you die, you basically build up resistance to damage and things like that. And I initially saw my husband playing it, and I was like, there's no way I could ever do this. There's too much going on. It's too fast. I don't understand. And with the help of Easy Baby Mode, I was able to complete it and actually played more hours than him. And then I had started doing the thing where you put restrictions on yourself to get like extra tokens and stuff. And I had gotten more clears than him because he didn't have Easy Baby Mode on, but I'd escaped more times than him and then gotten further in the story than him. And it was just an amazing game that made me realize that you can train your brain. And that's what made me branch out into trying other types of games that I wouldn't normally have tried. Because before then I'd really only done things with things like Pokemon or Fire Emblem, where you're turn-based or reading-based, like Ace Attorney. It was one of the first games I played that had like real-time stuff happening. Other than Kingdom Hearts, but I won't count Kingdom Hearts, because when I say I never really gamed before, but in high school I did play Okami and Kingdom Hearts, and I did not get very far in Okami, and I got a decent amount of okay into Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but basically I was just button smashing. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I could not visually understand what was happening in front of my eyes. I was just hitting buttons and hoping something would happen. And in Kingdom Hearts game on easy mode, it does happen. You don't really need any kind of skill. But Hades was the thing that made me realize that I could trade my brain to, like, oh, look, something's happening, click at the right time. Something's happening, react to it in the right time. Because before that, my reaction times were absolute garbage, and they're still definitely not up to par. I definitely could not play a lot of timing-based games. Like, you'll never see me play a rhythm game. My brain just does not react. And there's another duck coming. Similarly, like back in the day in high school, people would play Smash Brothers, and I was always like the very, very first to be eliminated 24 hours before everyone else did, because I couldn't figure out where my character was. I couldn't visually track things very well. They got real close real fast. This is a Stankman simp. Oh, Clay has come between them. Clay is like, nah, that's my girl. And then immediately Civi's also over here. This one has immediately caused drama. We're gonna stare into her eyes and see that she is probably a Jezebel or something. She's evil. Probably. Thus... I hit the wrong button. This is Homewrecker. It does fit. Ha! Anyway, so fast forward to when I started playing real games. Our friends lent it to us when they were on vacation one time, and I was able to finally conquer Smash Brothers and occasionally win against my husband. And the only way to do that was to pick the very, very large boys so I could visually track them with my very weak baby eyes. But I still won a few times, so I was like, okay, you finally done better. Similarly, and I used to, in high school, would also occasionally play Mario Kart and was always in dead last against NPCs, even on baby level. And I've since come to dominate that game and gotten 3 stars on every single thing, or whatever it's called. I think it's in stars, right? Yeah, I don't know. It was important to me to get good at that game, and I got good. And so I can occasionally also win against my husband at that, but that's a lot more luck-based. That's less than skill and more than luck. Someone popped out babies! Frederick! In front of my salad, Frederick? When did these get here? And you can't name them. They're not actual ducks. Are they a figment of his imagination then? Because you can't, like, focus on them to give them names. Therefore, those ducks are not real. That's my hot take on that. My unpopular gaming opinion is that I don't like the new Zelda games. I played a few on the DS, like the Toon Link ones. I played all the Toon Link ones on the DS, and like Ocarina of Time, I think. And I just really hate how these open world ones are too open world for my little brain to be able to process what's happening, and there's just too many options. And the worst part of any game is inventory management. What's going on over here? I hate inventory management. So the fact that you're like, this is a game where you have to constantly change your weapons out, and then if you like it, then that's too bad, or find repair materials. No. I just want one sword, and I want one bow, and I want one slingshot, and one bomb chew, or whatever, and that's it. I don't want all the other extras. I don't want all the customizations. I understand people think it's fun, but I hate it. I hate it so much. And my husband plays it a lot, and then when I look at it, I'm just like, I can't. Every time he opens the inventory screens, I like scream. Because there's too many things, and he's just like scrolling looking for one type of flower or something, and it's like, this is taking you 30 minutes just to get to the item that you need. This is too much. And you can report me, that's fine. Sippy sip. The moon. There's a moon. There's gonna be a duck drop, so I don't even want to say anything else. Just got a mic drop on being like, I don't like the new Zeldas, and then just turn it off. You're not gonna eat my ducks? You also haven't tried duck. It's been on the to-do list for a while, especially ever since the Yakuza games with duck à l'orange being something that will get you killed immediately. Here's our new duck. Is this stone number 2? Did I not name that one? I swear I named... Oh, that's air, so this is the new one? It's the same, but like marbly? Marbly stone? I like that they're next to each other. They're like... I don't know, some sort of tragic double lover suicide thing going down here. I dig it. Very sad. Yeah, that's marble, so that'll be Marbeline. Who knows if that's how you spell that? I know that's a name. Maybe it's Marbeline. Those are not his veins. That's well, marble has veins. They talk about marble in terms of veining. You're so vain, you probably think that comment was about you. What else can I talk about? Things that I like? I really like sweets. All types of sweets. I'm really not preferential that way, other than like dark chocolate. I don't consider that sweet though. That's, to me, dark chocolate is savory. I don't know. It's not right, whatever it is. Love sweets and animals. All animals. I'm not a huge fan of insects or bugs, but you know, if that's your thing, I dig it. His babies have all separated from him. His imaginary babies are all gone. I really love coffee. For years, I cut myself off of it because I've always had tummy problems. But I actually started drinking coffee and like, I was literally 3 or 4 and my grandpa gave me mostly milk with a little bit of coffee on it. And then ever since, I was drinking coffee. So like through grade school, I would have coffee milk more or less. But then... And then it switched to more coffee and then some milk, and then I switched to black coffee with like 1 sugar for middle and high school, and then in college I went to black with just a splash of milk or just black. And then I stopped because my tummy was too much. But then now I'm back and my tummy is still too much, but I don't care because I love coffee. But additionally I love tea and sweet tea because I'm from the South. My husband's also from the South, but he's not really from the South because he doesn't like sweet tea. I don't understand. I like regular teas too. I'm not a huge fan of like green tea, like by itself, but matcha flavored things can be really good as long as it's balanced. And like when we've gone to Japan, I've had a lot of green tea that was like fine. But sometimes you get it here and it tastes like grass or something, so I just don't. I usually go with black tea. Or mixed herbal teas. He's going down the slide. Stank man. Stank man. I missed it. He went down the slide, though. He just slided. He slided. In terms of dislikes, I hate pizza. It's like my husband's favorite thing. He will die if he doesn't eat it once a week, but I hate it. I hate pizza. And occasionally, I'll just be confused because I'll be like, well, that smells and looks really good. And then I try it and I'm like, nah, nasty. Nasty. I don't want it, and my tummy hates it when I eat that, so double reason not to eat it. I also hate exercise because I hate sweating, and so that's why I don't know if I'll stream, because you get sweaty when you stream, and I'd heard other people say that, and I guess it's true, because here I am, sweating. There's gonna be another duck. My third dislike is Ringo down. Ringo was down. I don't know how to go back. Oh well. Anything social. I'm trying to get on this new duck. Here he is. That is a dinosaur. This is a friend. I look deep into his eyes and I see nothing but profound disgust with me. But I'm into it. Yeah, that's a little dinosaur man. Ah! That's a Drogon. You can add to my likes I like dragons. I've been obsessed with dragons since like age 5 or something when I found out they existed, and people were like, "Oh, dinosaurs are so cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, they are, but have you heard of flying ones that breathe fire?" No. And the answer was yes, they had, but they thought that dinosaurs were cooler, but they were wrong because Drogon. Drogi. This is my new friend. We're gonna watch him continually. Yeah. What noise do you make? Do you make a noise? Some other talking points. Oh, because I missed out that I was going to talk about maybe live action stuff that I liked, but that's okay. But back when I was talking about anime, because that would have been the best segue, but I didn't notice these giant amount of arrows that I'd drawn, because I wrote down a few notes. Because I get lost if I don't have notes, and I like listing things and so that I can cross them off. I think that's a pretty normal human thing, but sometimes it's just like, that wasn't necessary to make a list, and then there I did it. In terms of goals, which is something I just talk about, and it's like, they always just are like, I didn't do that, man, but it's just fun that maybe one day I'll look back on this and be like, oh look, I actually had this goal and then I did it, but then I probably won't, but that's okay. I want to write more, because I used to write a lot. That was like one of my primary hobbies, and last year I started planning out all of these fics and stuff, and then I never wrote them, so I want to write some of them, or write something else. But it's hard. I have no faith in myself is the problem. But maybe if I became a streamer and some people gave me some positive feedback or something, I'd be like, oh, I can do anything. Because occasionally I get these, like, bouts of megalomania where I'll be like, oh, I'm invincible, I can do anything. And gaming can sometimes do that for me. He just fired that whole slide. That's my friend. So yeah, I want to get back to writing. I also want to get back into... One of the times I went back to school for Japanese, and I didn't complete that degree, but that was because I took the JLTP test, and I missed by 1 point, and I was so bitter about that I, like, quit for a very long time. Because I was so mad, because I'd never done that good on the part where they, like... him shooting down the slides like the lady who had diarrhea down the aisle of the plane. No thank you, sir. No thank you for that image. The listening portion, and that was usually my weakest bit, and then that was the bit that I literally didn't get any wrong, or I got one wrong or something, and so the part that I messed up was the part that I was good at, so I was really mad and I quit for a long time. And then for a while I got back into it, but then that translated into me just learning tons of kanji. So I knew, like, oh, he caught Gwyneth on fire! Gwyneth! Oh my god, that's violent. That is terrible. What did Gwyneth ever do to you? Sir. He's about to get banned from this pool, even though he's also my favorite. I also want to cheer him on for just being like, yeah, destroy all these ducks. Anyway, so for a long time I knew like over 2,000 kanji, okay. I knew them okay. I'm not gonna say that I'd mastered them or anything. There's my new one, but I have to tab 5,000 times. Oh, I went past him. There's a way to click and I don't remember how, so we're just gonna tab through. Psychedelic. I look deep into his eyes. That's a pretty cool pattern. Another thing about me is I love black and white color schemes. I also like purple. Black and white purple color schemes. I was suggested psychedelic. That's a pretty good name. That's good. Anyway, second bout into Japanese, I was basically learning words in kanji and didn't focus on the grammar. And so I've lost a lot of the grammar, and I would like to get back into that, because I watch a lot of Japanese streams, and I'm at the level of ability where it's like, sometimes I can understand a good chunk of the conversation, but if you asked me to translate it, I couldn't do it accurately. But I could get, like, the overall arc of what was happening. It was the same when we were in Japan watching Japanese TV. It'd be like, oh, I understand the plot of this movie. But if you asked me to tell me what that character said, I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell you. And then some of the streamers go off and I'm like, I have no clue of any of the words you just said in that sentence, or like what even formatting it's in. So I would love to get back into Japanese, but who knows if I ever will. It's very hard. The best thing, my best special talent is giving up when things are difficult. So I've been trying to do a little bit better, and gaming's definitely helped me with that. Because it's like, oh, this is really hard, I want to quit, and then I'll just keep going. Stankman just went away. Clay is now on fire! Drogi's wrath has spread. I wonder if, like Frederick is... He's rubber, so can he even catch on fire? Can they all be on fire? Camera, please! I'm supposed to be in control of the camera, but I don't always feel that I'm in control. But that's life, right? My other goals are to get into different types of games. Ringo has just been grounded over here for a long time. I'm worried about him. This is me. This is me being stuck. And one day he'll get out. And one day I'll get out of being stuck as well. But for now, we're just gonna keep chilling in our corner, and that's okay. The inevitable struggle. He thinks he's going places, but he's going nowhere. This is just too relatable. This is just too sad. If only someone will come and help him. Well, he will quack. He will quack still. He hasn't gone nonverbal yet. Yeah, but yeah, the last goal I had was to just get better at different types of games. I want to keep broadening the type of games that I try. And finish more games, because I have a tendency to get to the end and then just not finish. It's the same with shows. I just don't like finishing things. I don't being like, oh, I can't watch this or play this anymore. And I've gotten a little bit better, but I could be better, especially about games. That's a good perspective right there. Frederick, why are your kids always all over the place? Psychedelics joining. Psychedelic, you're gonna catch on fire. Mouse might be immune. I am not in control of this. I keep thinking I'm in control of this and somehow it's not. Mouse definitely looked like he took a hit and then did not catch on fire. But will he catch on fire when Gwyneth tries to spread it to him? That's very toxic of you, Gwyneth. Oh, this is a disaster waiting to happen. He's rubbing it in the face of his victims. But now Clay and Gwyneth have now found each other as a result of this trauma. Another duck. Another duck dropped. Where is it? Panda. Mouse. You? No, that's air. Homewrecker. Marbling. Drogi. Psychedelic. New man. I trust him. I'm not really sure what we're going for here. He reminds me of bathroom tiles or like windows? I'm not really sure, but I do like the pattern. I like the reflectiveness of it. It reminds me of like nail polish or something. He will be windows. Windows. The only other thing I really wrote down, which I was supposed to talk about earlier, is what live action type stuff that I like is. I mostly watch anime though, but for a long time the thing that like I was obsessed with was Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits, and that will always have a special place in my heart. But from age like 4th grade through like high school, that was like all I ever thought about or talked about. That was like a part of my personality. I was one of those kind of people. I was kind of known for it. We went and read through some of our yearbook comments, and like a third of them referenced my Lord of the Rings obsession. And you're like, that's a little sad, but you know what? At least I picked a character trait and I stuck with it, man. For like however many years people knew me, they're like, yeah, that girl, we know what to buy for her. It's actually very easy to shop for me because you just have to buy me plushies. When did you get here? Republic of Games? Gamers? This is a reference. I don't know what this is referencing, but this is definitely a reference, right? I'm sorry, I don't know what pop culture you're referencing. This is a man with a headset. That means he has a job. Asus brand of stuff? I don't know what, like, sus? I don't know what that means. I'm too far removed. Is he even in my collection? The ones that are unnamed that you're seeing are from a past one, yes. Since I was told this is Asus, you can be Amogus. Amogus. It's a brand. Okay. Should they take money for a sponsorship for this game? Gwyneth and Clay are still together. That's good. Frederick, did you abandon... Frederick abandoned his children. They're not up here. They're down in that lower pool. That is scandalous, Frederick. That happened to me. See, there's one of his kids back there. Stankman seemed to be immune, so that's good. Stankman's immune from the drogie. Ringo, we've made a little progress from the wall, but we're still not getting anywhere. Very much I relate to this. Clay! Made of wood, Clay. Gwynny! Will they ever not be on fire? Savvy. Rose. Rose and Panda getting pretty close, rubbing them wings. Marimo, I thought it looked like moss, so I said that, but then it kind of looks like poop. This is not a great color. It is very natural looking, though. Panda, panda da. Moose. I still like him a lot. He's cool. His, like, head is, like, glitched through the floor air. I swear his head was not in the floor earlier. That's kind of sad. Homewrecker, who has actually turned out to be Drogi, who's, like, set all these ducks on fire. But only 2 of them. Look, he's hitting, like, 2 of them at once. Failed. You failed, Drogi. They did not catch on fire. Marbeline, Drogi, Psychedelic, Windows, Amogus. Back to Frederick. Did I start on Frederick? Frederick Stankman. I know we did Ringo at least. I was going through them waiting for this next duck. Anyway, in terms of live actions, we like watching trash TV. I'll just say that. Other than that, like good live action stuff, we watch a lot of horror movies, but again, a lot of that is not good. Severance was what I picked. That is a disco man. I can see him. Let me... Oh! He fired down that slide. This looks like black dynamite. I'm not gonna lie. This outfit. I would trust this man with my life. It does look like Kiryu with an afro. We can name him Kiryu. Oh yeah, in games, I never mentioned that Yakuza is one of my favorites, but I've never actually played any of them. That has all been my husband and I've just watched. Including like Judgment and Judgment 2 or whatever. I don't remember what the title was. Very good games, very good franchise, very good stories. I would get a Yakuza tattoo even. I don't have any tattoos. I've been talking about getting them for a long time, but don't like needles, so I don't know how that's ever gonna work. Plus, I have problems making decisions. I have analysis paralysis, like, real bad. Like, I decided on streaming, like, months ago and then hadn't gotten around to it, so... Similar effect going on, but, like, for tattoos, it's been years. Anyway, it's been about an hour, so after we get our next duck, we'll go ahead and stop. You'll never hear me say call it. I don't think I've ever mentioned yet, but I hate that term whenever streamers like, I'm gonna call it. I don't know why, I don't like hearing that. It reminds me of a coin toss. Or something. It's a weird pet peeve. I have a lot of weird pet peeves that stuff gets under my skin for no reason. Most of the time I can identify why, and in that one I really can't. But I probably will never say, I'm gonna call it. I'll just say, we're stopping. After this next duck. Because honestly, the little bobbing motion is making me feel kind of sick. I probably should have been played more zoomed out from the beginning, then I probably wouldn't feel so sick. I'm so smart, but never when I need to be. We're still over here, Ringo, man. Still going through it. Like... Gwyneth. Civi. Rose. Arimo, Panda, Mouse, Marbleine, or Air. I don't know who that's focused on. Probably Stankman. Marbleine, Drogi, Psychedelic, or Stankman or Gwyneth. I'm not really sure. Windows. Mugus, probably? Kiryu! I'm gonna stay here some more. Mwah! I kiss you. Mwah! He would never kiss me, that's not true. One of my other pet peeves or dislikes or something. Like, this music is not annoying, but the lo-fi beats that streamers that are like public domain or something, so they all have in their background whenever they go to the potty. I hate it. I hate it, and I hate them on loops. I don't like the kind of music where it's just kind of like, it's almost a song, but you're not quite there. This is more elevator music-y. And occasionally you'll hear them cut in with Spanish. I swear.
January 10th, 1992.
That's in English. Maybe they do different and I've only heard Spanish before. Yeah, my favorite musician is DJ Sanpo-san. Actually. So it's not Nards, it's actually like one of my favorite artists, so you can just shut up. I'll defend him with my life. Sick beats. Sick? Frederick approaches Kiryu. Windows whisks him away. Prepare for final duck drop. It's like Titanfall or something. See, this whole time I should have been taking advantage of that you can stop like the movement, but I keep forgetting. I'm bad with controls. So I don't know if I can ever actually stream a lot because I can't multitask like that. I could barely control things as it is. There he goes. Last duck. Can I click on you that way? If I do this. Yes! That's a great thing to end on! The saddest little boy! Or a murderer who's killed 3 people. I dig it. I dig the bright red with like the navy blue. This will be... Instead of Triste, we'll have Tristan. Tristan? I can't spell. Oh my god. Tristan? Like Triste for sad. That is not the Gemini killer. You're a Gemini! Be quiet. I'm a Capricorn, by the way, and I was born in the year of the sheep, so I'm a double goat, and that's probably why I'm obsessed with character designs with horns. Maybe just because I'm just like horns. They're sexy, you know? They're cool. Anyway, so I guess I'll wrap it up. This has been a Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. It's been pretty fun. It's a very chill game. I'll probably play more of it, but not on stream, because then I'd have to have things of, I'd have to have more things to talk about, and I just never have things to talk about. But I like watching the ducks, although they make me feel a little sick with all the bobbing motion. Very cute game though. There's other levels, including like a DLC level where you're like on a spaceship, so I'll definitely have to show you later. Maybe I will stream it then. I don't know. Either way, it's been an experience. It's been an experience talking for an hour. My throat kind of hurts, which is like, how do you do this for 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours at a time without like dying? I don't know. But I would probably never be an endurance streamer like that. But my name again is Kokona Noka, or Noka Kokona, or Coco, or Nono, or Coco 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 Kona. Coco no 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 no, whatever you want to call me, and we will hopefully see you soon again. This was pretty fun, and that is that. Bye bye.